What's up, Broncos Country? You're not going to believe what just landed in the Denver Broncos' lap. While everyone was sleeping on it, Sean Payton played 4D chess again and received 3 absolutely insane pieces of news that could completely change the course of this historic season. I'm talking about an injury report that looks like a Christmas present, a running back who could be the missing piece for the Super Bowl, and a trend that puts the Broncos as the most coveted destination in the NFL. And there's more. What I'm about to show you explains why we're 12-2 and dominating the AFC like nobody expected. Stick with me until the end, because the third piece of news goes against everything you've heard about the team's future and will completely change how you see this Broncos season. Look, I know you've seen a lot of injury reports in your life as a Denver Broncos fan. We went through years of suffering, watching key players dropping like flies, sitting out crucial games, missing playoff chances because of injuries that seemed like a curse. But what just happened before the game against the Jacksonville Jaguars is simply surreal. The Denver Broncos received an injury report that looks like something out of a movie. You know that moment when you look at the paper and see that all your starters have full participation status in practice? Well, that happened. And I'm not talking about 1 or 2 weeks of luck, people. We're talking about a trend that's been maintained since the beginning of the 2025 season. Ben Powers is back. That's right. Our guard who makes all the difference on the offensive line is going to be on the field. And look, last week he had already practiced most of the time, so we expected this. But seeing it confirmed is another story. Bo Nix is already the least sacked quarterback in professional football. I said professional, folks. And he achieved this playing with our 4th option at the guard position. Imagine what's going to happen when he has Ben Powers protecting him. It's going to be unfair to the opponent. Then you look further down the list and see Pat Bryant back too. The guy missed the last game. We saw a lot more snaps from Lil Jordan Humphrey and Michael Bandy, who, by the way, scored an emotional touchdown that had everyone on their feet. But having Pat back is crucial. And you know what's even cooler? Pat Bryant is from Jacksonville. He studied there, grew up there, has pride in the city, and now he's going to play against his hometown team in Denver at our house at Mile High. Sean Payton knows this. You can bet he's already drawn up some special plays for Pat to shine in this game. It's going to be epic. But the cherry on top, R.J. Harvey. The rookie running back, who's been the sensation of the season, is going to play. He had left the end of the last game because of a rib injury, and everyone got that sinking feeling like, here we go again, losing key pieces in the home stretch. But no. The guy is participating fully in practice. Full participation, folks. 0 restrictions. And check out the wicked math I'm going to show you. The Denver Broncos have only lost 148 starter games to injury this season. This puts us among the healthiest teams in the entire NFL. And it's not just quantity, it's quality. The starters we lost weren't the kind that make you collapse in the rankings. In fact, the Broncos had the fewest points lost to injuries among all teams in the league. Meanwhile, the Las Vegas Raiders, who are one of the statistically healthiest teams, are at the bottom of the AFC West. Health isn't everything, but with Sean Payton in command, health plus strategy, total domination. On the other side, the Jaguars are destroyed. Travis Hunter, wait, no, I misspoke. But anyway, there are fundamental Jacksonville players who aren't even on the injury list but have already been ruled out for the game. Their defensive line isn't practicing, the offensive line has people limited. It's like the universe is conspiring in favor of the Denver Broncos right now. Sean Payton isn't just lucky, people. He's smart. The guy built a training program, an injury prevention culture, an elite medical team. We don't have luck, we have competence. And that's going to make all the difference in the playoffs. Now, about that Cody Schrader signing that had everyone freaking out yesterday thinking it was because R.J. Harvey was in bad shape, relax. Sean Payton himself came out publicly and said it was more about having depth on the roster, having options, playing smart. And Cody Schrader, coming from Missouri, is exactly the type of guy the Broncos love. Underdog, undrafted, hungry to prove he deserves to be in the NFL. That's the DNA we want in the locker room. Now let's talk about something that gives me chills, for real. Something that separates the 2025 Denver Broncos from any other team in the NFL. I'm talking about the culture that Sean Payton built here. You remember Michael Bandy's touchdown? Man, that moment was historic. Not because of the touchdown itself, although it was beautiful, but because of what happened after. Bo Nix and Courtland Sutton, two of the team's biggest stars, said in the press conference that they were happier about Bandy's touchdown than their own touchdowns. Let that sink in for a second. Michael Bandy is a guy who was cut by 5 different teams. He played rugby, came back to football, went through the Chargers, and was sent away. He came here as just another practice squad guy nobody knew. And you know what he did? He worked like crazy. Every day, in every practice, giving his all, helping the defense prepare for what's coming. Sean Payton, right after Bandy's touchdown, gathered the team and talked about the amount of practice this guy did, about how he completely commits himself in every rep, about how it's his work on the practice squad that prepares the Broncos defense to always be one step ahead. And then several Denver Broncos players went running after the touchdown ball to make sure they get it for Bandy to keep as a memento. People, this doesn't happen anywhere else in the NFL. Nowhere. You see teams with spoiled receivers like A.J. Brown from the Philadelphia Eagles tweeting that he wants out of the team. You see guys giving up on plays, getting suspended because they don't care about the team. And here we have Courtland Sutton wanting to see his teammates shine more than himself. Bo Nix said in his press conference that every team needs a Michael Bandy. And I agree, but I think we have the best one. And now we have Cody Schrader coming in, who has exactly the same profile, undrafted, went through several teams, has extra motivation to prove he deserves it. Sean Payton is building an army of warriors who play for each other. This is the culture that wins championships, folks. It's not just having talent, it's having soul. It's having a locker room where everyone roots for each other's success, where no one is too big to celebrate a teammate's victory. And this comes from top to bottom, directly from Sean Payton. Speaking of Payton, let's talk about the third bombshell, and this one is going to get you most excited. If you watch a lot of football, and I know you do, you notice that most teams have a pattern. You kind of already know what to expect from them. Chiefs are going to pass to Kelsey, and Mahomes will work magic. Bills are going to let Josh Allen carry the team on his back. It's predictable. But the Denver Broncos, man, the Broncos are unpredictable, and that's a weapon. Sean Payton completely changes the game strategy depending on who he's facing. He adapts the offense and defense based on the opponent's specific weaknesses. And this became obvious in the game against the Packers. We were underdogs against Green Bay. All the national media was saying, oh, the Broncos play man coverage more than any team in the NFL, and Jordan Love destroys man defenses. The Packers are going to massacre Denver. Guess what Vance Joseph did? He used zone coverage on 74% of pass attempts in the game. 74%, people. It was the most zone I've ever seen him use. Why? Because zone is Jordan Love's kryptonite. Vance Joseph knew this better than any ESPN commentator, and it worked. We won that game because we're smarter than the opponent. And the offense, Sean Payton completely changed the scheme. The Broncos used Bo Nix under center much more in that game than they normally do. Payton saw what Green Bay expected and turned the game upside down. Now, if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars defensive coordinator and you're planning for this Sunday's game, you have no idea what you're going to face. Because Payton changes every week. This reminds me of Bill Belichick's Patriots at their peak. You never knew what you were going to get. And that's exactly what Payton brought to Denver. He's playing chess while the rest of the league is playing checkers. And you know what the result of all this is? The Denver Broncos have become the preferred destination for free agents going forward. Chris Sims came out publicly this week and said exactly this. With all this winning culture, with this team mentality, with a coach who exploits each player's strengths, and changes the game plan every week, Denver is going to be the place where everyone wants to play. And man, that's huge. For years we suffered with the salary cap impact of Russell Wilson, unable to sign anyone decent. But now we have salary cap space, we have a winning culture, we have Sean Payton, we have Bo Nix developing as one of the best young quarterbacks in the league, we have the richest owner in sports building state-of-the-art training facilities that will make the rest of the NFL jealous. This new facility being built is going to be insane, folks. State-of-the-art, cutting-edge technology, everything a player could dream of. Guys from other teams are going to look and say, "Damn, I wish I trained there." And they can if they sign with Denver. The timing is perfect. We're having success at the exact moment we can finally invest in outside talent. The 2025 offseason is going to be insane for us. I'm already planning to do a video detailing all the salary cap movements and possible signings, but just thinking about it gets me excited. Reflection and nostalgia moment. You know, I grew up here in Colorado. I lived through the glory years of the Broncos, saw the Super Bowls, felt the magic of Elway, TD, Manning. Then I moved to Michigan because of my wife. She wanted to be close to family, and man, I miss Colorado every day. But you know what keeps me connected? This team, these 2024 Broncos, make me feel that excitement again, that feeling that something special is happening. It's not just about winning games, although 12-2 is incredible. It's about how we're winning. It's about the culture, about guys like Michael Bandy getting their chances, about veterans like Cortland Sutton being true leaders, about rookies like Bo Nix and R.J. Harvey proving we nailed the draft. The Broncos have already been the most watched team in 2 games this season. We broke viewership records when we beat the Chiefs at home, and again when we beat the Packers. The whole country is finally seeing what we've been seeing for months. This team is different. And look, I even wore my red Chiefs shirt on ugly sweater day at work in Michigan, like this is the ugliest color I have. Nobody there got the joke, but I know you guys understand. Because we're a family, Broncos Country. We laugh together, suffer together, celebrate together. But wait, because there's a detail about the next game I haven't told you yet. A detail that involves Pat Bryant, Jacksonville being his hometown, and what that could mean for his performance on Sunday. Plus, there's an absurd statistic about the Broncos' defense that nobody's talking about, and that could be the key to the AFC West title. Look, if you made it this far, first, thank you. Really. This helps me a lot with the YouTube algorithm. If you could give a like and subscribe to the channel, that would be incredible. We're building the biggest Broncos fan community on the internet, and you're part of it. Second thing, tell me in the comments. Which of these 3 pieces of news excited you most? The perfect injury report, the insane culture that Payton built, or the 4D chess strategy he's using? I want to know your opinion because that's what makes this community something special. Now, let's talk seriously about what's ahead. The Jacksonville Jaguars arrive on Sunday at Mile High, and this game has everything to be special. It's not just another win, it's the chance to secure the AFC West title and potentially the first seed in the conference with a bye to the playoffs. Think about it. If we win this game, we skip the first round of the playoffs. We rest while other teams kill each other in the wild card. We arrive at the divisional round fresh, at home, with our defense rested and our offense sharp. That's gigantic. And there's the Pat Bryant factor I mentioned. The guy is from Jacksonville. He has everything to have a monster game going back to his hometown. Sean Payton knows this, you can be sure. The guy spends the night before games designing personalized plays, playing war hymns for the players. He's going to create opportunities for Pat to shine, mark my words. On the other side, there's Evan Engram and Mercedes Lewis, who played a long time for the Jaguars and are now with the Broncos. And there's still Tim Patrick playing against us. Tim Patrick, one of my all-time favorite Broncos receivers. The guy who never gave up, who had sure hands, who personified the underdog mentality. It's going to be exciting, but it's also going to hurt a little. The Broncos' defense, led by Vance Joseph, is impeccable. We lead the league in sacks, we have Pat Certain too, playing at an all-pro level. We have Nick Bonitto being a force of nature on the edges. And Zach Allen? Man, Zach Allen is having performances worthy of JJ Watt, and nobody's talking about it. He's the most underrated player on our defense, and that's saying a lot considering the level we have. The offense is working. Bo Nix is comfortable, isn't getting sacked, is making smart decisions. R.J. Harvey is showing he was a steal in the draft, a running back who can decide playoff games. Cortland Sutton is being a leader and producing. Marvin Mims Jr. is exploding in crucial moments. Troy Franklin, the other rookie receiver, is growing every game. And the offensive line? With Ben Powers back, we have one of the best fronts in the NFL. Quinn Meinerz is playing at a Pro Bowl level. Garrett Balls is solid. Mike McGlinchey is doing his job on the right side. Luke Wattenberg is commanding the center with authority. Everything is coming together at the perfect moment of the season. Do you realize the historic moment we're living? The Denver Broncos haven't made the playoffs since 2015. 2015, folks. Almost a decade of suffering, of watching other teams in our division dominating, of seeing the Chiefs be champions year after year, of enduring the Russell Wilson era, which was honestly torturous. But now we're 12-2. We have the best record in the AFC, we're playing the best football in the conference, and it's not luck, it's work, it's culture, it's Sean Payton being Sean Payton, it's George Payton, our GM, making smart moves in the draft and signings. It's the Walton Penner family investing heavily in the team. And look, we started 0-2, 0-2. We lost to Seattle frustratingly. We lost to Pittsburgh in a game we could have won. And you know what happened? The team didn't collapse, didn't panic, didn't start pointing fingers. They united, adjusted, improved. And since then, 10 straight wins before the Packers game, and now 11 consecutive wins. This doesn't happen by chance in the NFL, folks. This happens because you have a complete team. You know what the difference is between the 2024 Broncos and the teams of the last 8 years? Mentality. This team believes they're going to win. Doesn't matter the score, doesn't matter the opponent, doesn't matter the circumstances. Remember the game against the Commanders? We were losing. It looked like it was going to be another frustrating defeat. And then R.J. Harvey made that absurd run in overtime for a touchdown. The team believed. Bo Nix believed. The defense believed. Remember the game against the Chiefs at Mile High? Everyone thought they were going to destroy us, and we dominated the game from start to finish. Will Lutz hit that field goal at the end, and all of Mile High exploded. It was cathartic. Remember the game against the Packers? Underdogs at home against an 11-win team, with Jordan Love playing at MVP level, and we won. It wasn't luck, it was dominance. Vance Joseph adjusted the defense, Sean Payton adjusted the offense, and we proved we belong in the NFL elite. This mentality comes from Sean Payton. The guy is a born winner. He won the Super Bowl with the Saints. He knows what it takes. And he's transmitting this to the entire team, from the starters to the last guy on the practice squad. And the best part of all? This is just the beginning. Bo Nix is a rookie who's already playing like a veteran, but still, it's his first year. Imagine him with one more year of experience, with a complete offseason as the undisputed starting QB1, with more chemistry with the receivers. R.J. Harvey is a rookie too, and he's already showing he can be an elite running back for years. Troy Franklin, another rookie, has potential to be a WR1 in the future. Our defense is young. Pat Surtain, too, is 24 years old and is already considered one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. Nick Bonitto is establishing himself as an elite edge rusher. Jonathan Cooper is flying. Zach Allen is in his prime. And we have draft picks coming. We have salary cap space. We have new facilities being built. We have a billionaire owner committed to winning. The future of the Denver Broncos isn't just bright, it's blinding. So recapping these 3 bombshell pieces of news. First, perfect injury report. Ben Powers back, Pat Bryant back, R.J. Harvey 100%, and the Jaguars destroyed by injuries. Total advantage for us. Second, the culture Sean Payton built is different from anything in the NFL. Michael Bandy scoring a touchdown and everyone celebrating like it was a Super Bowl. Cortland Sutton being a true leader. Bo Nix saying every team needs a guy like Bandy. This is what separates good teams from championship teams. Third, Sean Payton is playing 4D chess while everyone else is playing checkers, changing schemes every week. Surprising opponents, making the Broncos the most coveted free agency destination, building a dynasty. And look, I know every fan says, this is our year, every year. But seriously, folks, this really could be our year. 12-2. Best record in the AFC. Elite defense. Evolving offense. Genius coach. Winning culture. Roster health. Everything is aligning. Sunday, Mile High is going to be boiling. The Jaguars are going to feel what it's like to play at altitude against a team that doesn't lose. And we're going to take another step toward what really matters, raising the Lombardi Trophy. So I ask you one last question, and I want you to answer in the comments. Do you believe? Believe this team can go all the way? Believe Bo Nix can take us to the Super Bowl in his first year? Believe Sean Payton is building something special? I believe. And if you also believe, leave that like, subscribe to the channel, and let's go together on this historic Denver Broncos journey. Mile High. Broncos Country, let's go. See you in the next video, when we'll be celebrating the 13th straight win and the AFC West title. That's it, family. Go Broncos.